Poppins Poet.
And the Archangel 2210.
And we're going to be doing a review of Wrestlemania 27. We bought the pay-per-view yesterday, we watched it, and we're just basically going to give our feedback on the matches that happened. First match of the night was Edge versus Alberto Del Rio. What did you think of the match, Archangel?
The match itself was alright. The best part of the match, to be perfectly honest, was the ending of the match when Edge basically trashed his car. He smashed it with a crowbar. He scratched it and everything. It's like, that was probably the best part of the match.
What happened in the match, I think that Edge, first of all, it was a championship title match. It was a SmackDown title, the World Championship title, and Edge is, the champion. So he retained the title. Basically what happened was he won, and after he won, to add insult to injury, he trashed the prized possession, the Rolls Royce of Alberto Del Rio, with help from Christian. They basically scratched it,
not like it was
crowbarred it, and smashed the windshield and everything. So we'll see what happens
still
with
driving condition,
barely.
Fine.
But that'll probably add to their feud a little bit. The next match, good match. The next match was Rey Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes was going into it with an injury. He was wearing a face mask, looking like a Phantom of the Opera, with the hood on his, everything like that.
Crybaby.
Basically. And what happened in the match, I thought it was a pretty good match. What did you think, Archangel?
The match was actually pretty surprisingly, it was actually pretty good. But I liked Rey Mysterio's costume. He dressed as a type of Captain America costume.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I just didn't like the fact that, they pulled this feud out of nowhere. It was like this was a filler match. It was like, supposedly, when they did a flashback that Rey Mysterio did a 619 to him at one point, and then, his exposed knee brace smacked him in the face.
By accident.
Yes, by accident. But
incidentally made his...
He milked it for all it was worth, and he said, "Oh, it broke his nose.
Even
needed
though
surgery."
even though this was a feud that some might say kind of came out of nowhere, it did bring out a good match. Cody Rhodes did wind up winning the match, and I thought it was a pretty good match, and we'll see, what could happen with that. Next match was the 8-person tag. It was Big Show, Kane, Kofi Kingston, Santino, versus The Core. The Core is like an up-and-coming group of the young guys in WWE. Basically, Big Show, Kane, Kofi Kingston, and Santana, they basically crashed The Core. And they won the match. The next match we're going to go into is Randy Orton versus CM Punk. This match was really good. Randy Orton was going into it with an injury. And you kind of did see how it played on him a little bit. Basically, what happened in the match is the match was actually a pretty good match. These two athletes really came together. A lot of these matches had this was just a basic standard match where it was no DQ, no Hell in a Cell, no tables, ladders, and chairs. It was basically a regular match. The end part of the match, Randy Orton wound up winning the match. The end part of the match was you see CM Punk coming from the top rope, and Randy Orton catches him, connects, does the RKO, and wins the match. It was awesome. It was perfect. It was beautiful, and then Randy Orton won.
That was pretty sweet.
That was pretty. It was unbelievable. That was really the word to describe, because I couldn't believe my eyes. It was unbelievable. So Randy Orton won the match. It was a great WrestleMania moment. The next match we're going into is Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole. This is where a little bit of controversy happened in the night.
God.
Okay. Stone Cold Steve Austin, I loved it. He was the special guest referee. He came out to a great ovation. Everybody loved it.
Michael Cole, he didn't have no music. His music was him running his mouth while walking down the ramp.
Basically.
And
he looked like a Teletubby or a Wiggle. He was dressed in this bright orange-red outfit, looking like a high school type of.
I thought he looked like a Oompa Loompa.
It looked very bad, and he came out with Jazz Swagger. So and basically commentating was JR and Booker T.
I thought it was so stupid because this whole feud, Michael Cole is running his mouth to Jerry Lawler, and then when the match is about to start, it's like literally seconds away. He's hiding out in his Punk box, in his little glass box, and he's like, oh, we don't need to do this.
Oh yeah, I
he
forgot
wanted
that
to
happened.
back out of the match.
He
and
did.
And I was thinking, dude, the match is here. It's,
Wrestlemania.
This is the whole thing you've been wanting, and now you're gonna back out of it.
So basically, Lola basically pulled him in the match. They had the match. What wound up happening was it ended in Lola winning the match. During the match, Stone Cold was the referee, so he during the match basically stunned Michael Cole, which was great. That was the only time he actually kind of did anything physical during the match. So Lola won. That little thing, the special, the Raw, the general Raw manager via email said the match had to continue. That the match had to be, the decision had to be changed.
That Michael Cole won.
Michael Cole wins.
Blah.
So that's basically a little controversy. Next match of the night, was Triple H versus Undertaker. This was not for titles. This was not for anything like that. If anybody understands, there's Undertaker has a streak going into WrestleMania last night was 18-0. After WrestleMania last night, it was 19-0. But the match was absolutely incredible. If you have a chance to see this match, you will not be disappointed. It was unreal.
I felt for a no holds barred match they could have gone a little further.
They could have, but people forget in the very beginning of the match they started off like ripping. They basically were throwing each other through the announce table, the Punk box, Michael Cole's Punk box. They were
basically got
the
demolished.
steps. Everything was just like, and that was the beginning of the match. The beginning. So it basically wind up happening at the end of the match. Triple H, I couldn't believe my eyes. He tapped out to.
Oh yeah, that's how it ended.
To Undertaker's submission move. That submission hold that basically he locked it in so ridiculous that like Triple H couldn't grab the sledgehammer. I mean, this was a no holds barred match, so outside interference was legal. Weapons were legal. Anything was legal, and it was unreal. The match was really unbelievable. And at the end of it, you saw the wear and tear on Undertaker. It really took a lot out of him.
Undertaker
he needed help. Yeah,
he still needed to get wheeled out.
Yeah, he needed to get wheeled out. So it just really shows how much these guys give day in and day out to this business, and on the following night on Raw, Triple H basically gave him a what basically saying, much respect. And
what was the match after that?
The match after that, that's the main event we're gonna go into in a minute. He basically gave him isn't there a Monday match that was after that? Oh yeah, there's 2 more matches after this. So basically the night after on Raw, Triple H was giving his respect to Undertaker, saying that was a great match, and it was. Whenever these guys go head to head, it's great. The next match was a 6-person tag, which is Snooki, John Morrison, Trish, Lay Cool versus Lay Cool, Dolph Ziggler, and a side order of Excuse Me, which is Vicky Guerrero. Basically, Snooki, you know her from Jersey Shore. John Morrison, Trish basically kind of did most of the match. John Morrison really didn't wrestle that much. And Snooki... He
wasn't tagged in. He just was there to keep the other guy at bay.
Snooki did a little bit of moves, and what basically wound up happening was Snooki and her team won.
It was like a 2-minute match.
It was pretty good.
It was a quick 2-minute match.
The last match was the main event, was The Miz versus John Cena. The Miz versus John Cena, this was the main event. This was for the WWE title. This was supposed to be a regular match. Nobody gets involved. Nothing like that happened. For the belt. The match goes on, a pretty standard match, and then basically what happens is, at the first time,
Alright.
It ends in a double count out. At that point, The Rock comes out and basically says that they get an email from the general Raw manager, and then it says that he wants them to restart the match. They get back in the ring, and then when they get back in the ring,
he gives them a rock bottom, and then he basically calls him the match. In my opinion, that was going to happen no matter what. He just wanted to do it himself.
Yeah.
So, that match was a little bit of a disappointment.
So, The Miz basically retained his title via a rock bottom from The Rock. Overall, I think that WrestleMania was pretty good. Last year's WrestleMania might have been a little bit better. I don't want to say... I hate saying stuff like that. But I would say The Undertaker's match was absolutely unbelievable. Randy Orton's match was really good too. Cody Rhodes, great. I basically think that it was a great WrestleMania. What do you think, Archangel?
I thought it was pretty good. Write what you think of WrestleMania, and please subscribe to
Franny Poppins Poet.